Good morning. I'd like to welcome everyone to the Atchison County Commission meeting for Tuesday, February 6th. I'd like to call the meeting to order, and Father John Pullinger was going to join us this morning for the invocation. I will go ahead and use the prayer for elected leadership to get things going, and then if he shows up, I'd love to hear his prayer as well. Oh God, give us strong, wise, compassionate leaders. Send us leaders with truthful hearts and impassioned spirits, who will stand for justice and freedom for all. Give us leaders who will unite with other leaders to bring about a kinder, more peaceful world. Leaders who will support their coworkers during times of challenge and change. Give us leaders who are servants of the people, listening, encouraging, caring for all races, creeds, and cultures, welcoming those seeking asylum, providing a safe place for all to thrive. Amen. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Public comment. Okay, seeing none, approval of the minutes. We will table that until next week when the minutes are available. Commissioner comments. Commissioner Rivas, do you have anything?
I don't think so at this time.
Okay.
I don't have anything.
I don't have anything today as well. New business, executive session, non-elected personnel. 30 minutes. Commissioners, county counselor, HR and finance.
Fine. I'll move that the Board of County Commissioners recess into executive session at 10:02 a.m. to discuss personnel matters of non-elected personnel as allowed by K.S.A. 75-4319B1. And that the purpose of the closed session is to protect the privacy rights of the employee. And the board come out of executive session in 30 minutes in the commission room, courthouse basement. And those present will be 3 commissioners, county counselor, HR, and finance director. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Passes 3-0. Okay, we are back in open session, and need an executive session, 30 minutes. Non-elected personnel. Commissioners, county counselor, HR, finance, and EMS director.
Second. Go ahead, Sean. Go ahead. I move that the Board of County Commissioners recess an executive session at 10:33 a.m. to discuss personnel matters of non-elected personnel as allowed by K.S.A. 75-4319B1. And that the purpose of the closed session is to protect the privacy rights of the employee. And the board come out of executive session in 30 minutes in the commission room in the courthouse basement. Those present will be the 3 commissioners, county counselor, HR, EMS director, and finance. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes 3-0. Okay, we are back in open session. And I would like to make a motion to terminate Wesley Lanter's employment from Atchison County effective immediately.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Passes 3-0. Okay. Michelle Phillips, County Clerk,
I don't.
Special Bond Election Canvas.
Sorry.
We have quite a few ballots here to basically be canvassed. As you can see, the 409 special election all mail. We had a total mailed out of 7,534 voters. And we received back 2,066 ballots. So the first batch I have is from people who did not receive their ballots in the mail. So they called in because their ballot destroyed, spoiled, lost, or not received. And there is a statute that pertains to that 25-433. And as long as they've only received or only cast one total ballot, then these should be accepted. So I have 21 of these. I don't know if you guys want to just kind of,
You don't want once or?
Ballot not received in mail, voter requested replacement ballot, only voted once. That's the one you're doing first.
Right.
Okay. Okay, and your recommendation is
to count these.
okay, I would look for a motion to approve the 21 ballots not received in mail, voter requested replacement ballot, only voted once as presented from the county clerk. To accept the ballots.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Passes 3-0.
And I'm kind of gonna work backwards on that one. I have a total of 3 of them. To back up just a little bit, I had 58. As you can see in the middle of the page, when we get a ballot back and it does not have a signature, we always try to go above and beyond to try to get a hold of people, to get them in, to get their signatures so that the ballots can be cured. So we have cured 58, allowing those votes to count. However, we still have quite a few that they didn't come in and sign. So I have 3 of them that since Friday have come in and signed their ballots. So basically, there's really nothing that needs to be done with these other than to go ahead and approve them. My recommendation is to approve them due to 25-433. County election officers will attempt to contact each person who submits a mail ballot if there's no signature, or if the signature does not match with the signature on file, to allow each elector the opportunity to correct the deficiency before the commencement of the county canvass. So I have 3 of those.
Okay. I will make a motion to accept the 3 ballots as presented from the Atchison County Clerk.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Passes 3-0.
Now, the very first one is the signature verification. In our election standards, it's if a signature comparison raises a question as to the validity of the ballot may be challenged and made provisional and referred to the County Board of Canvassers for determination of its validity. I have 8 of these. What we have done, Kaylee helped out, and we have a ballot with a signature, and we ran the copies of the actual signatures that we have on file. So if we can just pass them around and do them on a one-on-one basis and either approve the signatures or deny the signatures.
You're comparing it to when they filed for their
So you'll make,
For their registration.
Registration vote.
When they registered and they signed their registration, we keep that on file. And then we get back their ballots and we verify every single signature.
Okay.
And if we have some that all 3 of us in the office looked at and we are unable to determine the validity of it.
okay, so
So-
what's your recommendation on this one?
I'm gonna help interject.
Yeah, thank you.
That is why we're bringing it to you, it's up to you guys to make that call on those 8 ballots, on those 8.
We,
Per election standards.
right, these are basically the ones that we have decided were not.
Okay, thank you. You don't find that these 2 match, so you're just asking for our verification. I would this first one absolutely doesn't match, so,
You wanna just keep.
yeah,
running them
sure,
around?
thank you.
And that whole page is, you can open up that page, Eric, for signatures to see the signatures.
Yeah, no, this one also doesn't match. Thank you.
Nope,
I don't think she lives around here.
Yeah,
we're gonna
no,
put that one over here.
this one isn't even like the same name.
I would say.
Well, because this one got married.
Okay,
Sorry, let me explain on this one. This one got married, so this is the new last name right here.
okay,
This is the previous, but
the whole
I
way.
did every signature that we had on file for this person because they were registered as a maiden name
Okay,
or however, whichever way it's gonna go.
okay, thank you.
Previous name.
Yeah, that one doesn't match up either. Or initial.
I'm a no on this one.
So we
No,
looked
you're-
at 3 so far.
So 2 no's, 1 yes on that one. Okay,
So which one, sorry, did we have a disagreement?
this one.
This was the one. I'm still a no, I mean, they don't match to me.
This is the one.
So I think that's an important lesson too for the public of like how you sign your name, be
Mhm.
consistent.
Right.
Um,
Well, and we have some people who they have different signatures. I'm sure, Alan, you probably are a good example. You probably have a different signature because you have to sign so much and you have those unique characters in your signature. And some people, I mean, it's 40 years and no change.
They printed their name here and they signed their name here. So if this was me, my printed name is up there within my signature, the cursive. That's my challenge there. So I would lean towards allowing this one, but you guys, what do you guys think? I mean, just because of that fact that it's cursive versus print. I mean,
I said no on that.
Yeah,
one.
yeah, it's fine. It's not gonna change
Also
the
said no on that one.
yeah, I can see why these flagged for you.
Mhm. And we thought it would be better, to go ahead and,
No,
Yeah, I know this guy real good. I almost bet you that it's him, but he just didn't sign it very well on here. Just kind of scribbled, but I'll bet it's legit. Based on the signature, I can't.
mhm, mhm. And we're not,
I guess like that,
Experts,
you
I mean-
call that voter and say, would you come by here and clarify this? Can you do
Mhm.
that?
we have done that, yes. Mhm.
Do it on that one, or does it matter? Right, does it make a difference now, based on the votes? I mean,
Based on the votes, probably. All of these people will get voter credit. It's just that their vote at this point in the game. No.
that's no. No. Do you think some of this could be election fraud or just?
No, I don't want to say election fraud. I want to say maybe, I mean, yeah, it would be classified as fraud, but, child at school. Ballot goes to their home, not their school address, mom signs for them.
Yeah. something like
That type of thing. Husband and wife sign for each other. I mean, that type of thing. So we're gonna fit those over here in the pile for no. Thank you.
So how do you want to do on motion complete ballots to be counted? No.
Mhm.
Okay.
Thanks. And we do training. When I go to my conference every year, we do typically have a training in regards to depicting those little unique characters and trying to figure out, because sometimes, when people start, they start in a counterclockwise direction and signatures come in with the clockwise. So little things like that we try to pick up on, but we do have training in regards to that by the Secretary of State. So, yeah.
Okay, so I will make a motion to deny the 8 ballots that we looked at for signature verification as presented from the Atchison County Clerk. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, passes 3-0.
Okay, and I touched on this batch. There are 69 here. paper clips, there's notes. We have attempted to call some people multiple times. We shared the list with Dr. Scott. She wanted to verify, but it is something, as long as they call everyone and just tell them that we have questions for them to contact us, it's okay. It's not a for or against. They asked what they could do to help. This is one of the things. We ended up, like I said, we cured 58 out of this stack. We have 69 here who have been returned, voted, sealed, but not signed. And we made every attempt in our office, like I say, multiple calls. And some people don't have phone call or phone numbers on their voter registration, so therefore, no phone number, you can't call them. So we shared that around with our office in case anybody knew them personally. So there's 69 here that my recommendation is not to count because there's not signed.
I will make a motion to not count the 69 ballots returned with no signature on return envelope as presented from the Atchison County Clerk. Do I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Passes 3-0. We will not count this.
I have one, I'm gonna go with the bottom one, not registered in Atchison County. This gentleman actually had moved into the county, however, did not get registered. So he came in, we're not going to deny a vote for anyone, so we let him vote provisionally. But since he is not registered and it is a duty of the voter to be qualified by registering. So my recommendation is no on this.
I'll make a motion to not count the one ballot of the person not registered in Atchison County. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
That's a 3-0.
The last stack here, it's one of these, it's a bitter subject. Mr. Henderson and I have had conversations in regards to this. These came back by our post office. On a typical election, we get, the elections on Tuesday, we have until Friday to collect ballots through the mail, but they have to be postmarked by election day or before. With this election, we had until the next day, Friday. There are 69 here, and out of these 69, there are four, I take that back, 4 that are postmarked out of here. So 65 of these are not postmarked at all, but these were received yesterday and today. So,
they're not postmarked at all?
right, on
So
here,
the box out here.
that's basically not allowed because
Oh,
the
well,
deadline,
Could they not be postmarked?
the
Right.
canceling, they're not canceled, I should say. And it's in statute.
That's an issue we've had in almost every election, even ones that we get. That we know had to be on time because we received them before the deadline aren't postponed.
Mhm. And this information
We've talked to,
go ahead, I'm
we
sorry.
talked to the postmaster about it,
Mhm,
so I think that's maybe why there was a little bit more of an effort.
mhm.
Wow.
on these.
This is very interesting to me.
This
So
is,
are we, sorry,
Nope.
put it down in my terms, because you're the professional with the elections, but the post office and postmaster, they can fail a voter by
Yes.
not doing their job?
absolutely.
Wow,
It's been in the news a lot, but
wow.
Mhm. And
So
this is
69,
something-
that's, I mean,
yes.
that's a lot of ballots.
This is something that goes to the Secretary of State. This is something that I send to Brian Caskey as far as,
Interesting.
because we have a regional representative,
Yeah,
and this is something that goes to them.
so for the mail-ins, a good rule of thumb is bring it by hand and make
Mhm.
sure your vote counts, like,
don't do mail-ins anymore and vote in person,
yeah, absolutely.
honestly.
Okay,
So if they had dropped it in our box out here, you say that's not from.
Our deadline was noon on
Oh,
Thursday. That was what was in the speculations of the, from Gilmore Bell, and there was another organization that was
So
working
by
with
statute,
it.
we bound not to accept these, or can we accept these? I can't help that the post office doesn't do their job.
it's interesting. Yep.
Statute 25-1132 is advanced voting delivery of ballots. Subject to the deadline for receipt by the Office of the County Election Office as set forth in this subsection. All advanced voting ballots received by mail by the office of the county election officer after the closing of the polls on the date of any election specified and amendments thereto, and which are postmarked or otherwise indicated by the United States Postal Service to have been mailed on or before the close of the polls on the date of the election, shall be delivered by the county election officer to a special election board or the county board of canvassers as determined by the Secretary of State for canvassing in a manner consistent as nearly as may be with other advanced voting ballots. So
So you had 4 that were,
they were postmarked, however, they were postmarked after the election date.
so those were easy.
Yeah, those are easy.
Mhm,
So those are-
mhm.
the rest of them,
Right.
how many of those did you receive in your office by the Friday? Or
Um,
you cut off date ones, how much, the other ones?
Thursday, the first, well, Friday. Maybe the second.
We probably received,
It's on
I know it's on that thing upstairs and I don't have
the,
that.
no, it's on that one. You can look at your ballots, Michelle. We dated them.
Oh, that's true. But some of them we got out of the box. And that's on that paper upstairs,
Yeah, but I don't know which ones were that though.
I'd
right?
be okay allowing the ones that appear to have been here through the mail without a cancellation, because everything I get at home was canceled. I mean, I've noticed that.
Speaking of mail, I have a couple questions
Mhm.
because I had got questions from constituents. I wasn't sure how to answer. Some people had voted and put that in the mailbox and then a couple of days later received it back to their home. Do you know why that was?
No, in the past, I mean, I can guess, but I don't know why. We have to have that, we have to have an address label on here.
Okay.
Verifying address,
So
so
the-
they don't have to write it. I mean, a lot of the clerk's office, they do it. We used to have it down here. That kind of was a flag and they would get it mailed back. But up here, we've not had that problem as much, but apparently this year we have. But we mailed out over 7,500.
So you feel
ballots
like
as
the
well.
post office just looked at that and thought that's where it's going
not.
versus that side, that it should come to you. Huh, that's interesting. Yeah, I was like,
But before we had it, and it was an actual box, it was a dotted line box, that's where we put the label before. So that could be, like an address to box,
gotcha.
so.
And then when we mail them to the voters, what is the timeline on that?
The timeline on that for this election was basically, we received our ballots on Wednesday, the 10th. We, have to do a unique mark on our ballots. So we had to touch every ballot, counted them, and then, unique mark them. I made a trip on January 12th in the middle of the snowstorm to Lansing because the envelopes were ordered in mid-December. We're at a shipping company and we're not going to make it until Tuesday after our deadline to ship it out. So I made a special trip through the snow and picked up all the envelopes in South Lansing. So we got the envelopes back. We had to number every one of them, label them with the white mailing envelope, and then stuff everything. So it took us that next week fully to do this. So I think our last ones went out on that Monday, which was about 10 days prior to the election.
I would not count them. I think that I hate that. I would think everybody would count, but yet there's also ramifications for doing these different forms of voting. There are risks involved
To pass.
with that. I don't like that. I think it's maybe it should only be for extreme situations or and stay with the actual polling stations and I guess I'm a traditionalist, so
Well,
that's where I feel where we're at with this.
yeah.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think this is a really great learning lesson for voters though, right? Because if you don't know, you think, oh, I get this, put it in the mailbox, like it'll count, you know?
Mhm.
And then to come to find out, like, wow, you're
Right.
depending on someone else to do their job for your vote to count. And so if
Mhm.
you really want it to count, you better deliver it. to the
And
clerk's office.
that's another thing, in our office, we've had people upset, but then they think about it and it's like, well, it's good. When people come in and say you bring in 2 ballots, they're both not yours.
Right,
So we have you sign, there's 3 different sections on the back of our election envelope. The second one is the statement of a person assisting a voter. So basically assisting them doesn't mean that you're sitting there running through the ballot, helping them vote the ballot. But it also means bringing a ballot to someone. So you're giving your trust to somebody else. So we want that person to sign. So we are really good when they come to the office at stopping those people and checking them, having those people sign that they assisted. So, and it could be something as simple as husband and wife, or like say mother and child, but we're just, it's just something that we've always done. So,
So that would fall under the ballots received after election deadline or not having a cancellation mark.
correct.
Okay. All right. So I would make a motion to not count the 69 ballots received after election deadline or not having the cancellation mark as presented by the Atchison County Clerk. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes 3-0.
Okay. That's all I really have. As of right now, I did share with you the unofficial results, 1,200 yeses to 693 noes. So I will take these up, we'll run these and I'll update them. And then I know you have other business, but before the meeting's over, I'll bring down stuff.
Okay.
I'll bring you down some official results for some signatures. Thank you.
All right. Joe Snyder, Road and Bridge Superintendent, bid opening, bridge repair project M.1-26.4. Welcome.
Hello. How's everyone today?
Okay.
Sorry, I was trying to write.
No, that's fine. No reason to apologize. This project entails part of it, part A is damage done by a car that hit the bridge. Part B is some deck repair that we needed to address, and no better time than when someone was there, so there'll be two parts to it.
It looks like 4 bids, Joe.
All right. Bid one,
Did we get insurance money? Or,
yes, well, no, not yet, because we
No.
don't know the,
but we have
Because
some,
we don't know the amount. We,
Right.
well, we've been in touch with the adjuster.
okay, so that's possible.
yes.
Thank you.
I would say it's likely.
So the first one is from Boderoff Construction. Okay, part A is for $46,115.14. Excuse me, and part B is $12,916.44. And again, that's Boderoff Construction.
You want to just hold them over there for a minute?
Okay,
They're authorized for you.
this one is from PCI Roads. Part A is $49,233. And part B is $96,428.
That's your place in the whole deck.
Well, I don't know, just that's. That is from Bettis Asphalt. Part A is $55,201.45. And part B is $64,765.24. This is from Comanche Construction.
Where are they at, man?
Olathe. Part A is $48,128. And Part B is $59,253. And as usual, I'd like to take a week, at least a week, and talk to our engineer and go over these and report back with you guys.
It looks like I need clarification there, but
Yeah, there's,
a couple of things.
Mhm.
yeah,
Was there an engineer's estimate?
oh, he did not send me an engineer's estimate. Okay. I have it, I do have it, but not with me, that's my fault, I apologize. But he does have it because we did that earlier. Thank you for coming.
Okay, thanks, Joe.
All right.
All right, Mark Seltner, Finance Director, K-Work Resolution.
Yeah, so in your folder, you have the resolution that I talked to you about last week, bylaws and the resolution to adopt that. And we're gonna wait a week to have the county councilor review that, to make sure it was all good before I
Were there any questions about it?
I didn't have any questions. If you thought it looked,
Standard.
yeah, I mean, yeah. Okay, and that resolution number will be,
I'm trying to find it.
nope, you're good.
$1534.
That's what I was just thinking too. That's what I just.
So 20, 24, 15, 34.
Mhm.
Okay. I would look for a motion to allow the chair to sign the resolution number 2024-1534. Whereas the Board of County Commissioners, Board of Atchison County, Kansas, has authority under the Kansas Municipal Group Funded Pool Act, K.S.A. 12-2616, as amended the Interlocal Cooperation Act, K.S.A. 12-2901, as amended the Kansas Tort Claims Act, K.S.A. 75-6101, as amended to participate in the form of county self-insurance pool for workers' compensation. And whereas the board has reviewed an agreement to cooperate with other counties to form such a self-insurance pool entitled Bylaws and Interlocal Cooperation Agreement for Kansas Workers Risk Cooperative for Counties, a copy of which is attached here and incorporated by reference into this resolution. Do I have a motion to allow me to sign this resolution for K-Work?
So,
Well, I think you can sign the resolution and the bylaws. There's a signature page on the bylaws.
Yep, I have both of them right here.
Okay.
Well, there might be three then. There's three.
Okay.
There's three signatures
Okay,
on this.
so it includes all of those.
Yep.
Okay,
So,
I move.
okay, been
second.
moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes 3-0 on this day. February. Thank you. Three signatures. Okay. Have a purchase order. I would look for a motion to approve a purchase order in the amount of $51,390 out of the IT department to Computer Information Concepts, also known as CIC, for the annual Peopleware agreement renewal. Do I have a motion to approve?
Are there any individuals named in that agreement or just the county?
It
It's,
should be between the county.
yeah, It's the
Okay.
county. Yep.
Okay, so
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes 3-0. Finish buildings. Okay. Next, so we have an executive session, for, let's see, 15 minutes. 15 minutes, non-elected personnel. And it's senior village administrator. HR. County counselor. Finance. And commission.
Move the Board of County Commissioners recess into executive session at 11:36 a.m. to discuss personal matters of non-elected personnel as allowed by K.S.A. 75-4319B1, and that the purpose of the closed session is to protect the privacy rights of the employee. And that the board come out of executive session in 15 minutes in the commission room courthouse basement. And those present will be 3 commissioners, senior village admin, HR, county counselor, and finance director.
second,
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes 3-0. We'll head into executive session. Okay.
Sorry,
Yeah,
your
you're fine.
video was
Yeah.
not working.
Thank you. Okay, we are back in open session. I have a disposal order that the finance director will present to us, number 2024-1.
Yeah, so this is for all of 2023, 2022, excuse me, accounts payable paid invoices that are able to be destroyed now because we've completed and concluded our audit. It's official. It's already been signed, adopted, and gone. So after that's been done, those invoices can be destroyed.
Okay. All right, I would look for a motion to approve order number 2024-1. The Board of County Commissioners of Atchison County do hereby order Michelle Phillips, County Clerk, to dispose of records. In witness, we have hereunto set our hands this 6th day of February 2024. I'm just gonna handwrite the change on that. Is that okay?
Mhm.
Do I have a motion to approve?
So move.
second, real quick, what's the time range on these? How old are these invoices?
2022.
These are all 2022.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay,
So
it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes 3-0.
thank you.
I
Thank
probably
you.
said that earlier and I was reading.
That's okay.
Thank you.
You know, I'm so conscious about my autograph, my signature, I call it because of Michelle's copies.
Okay, so we have an executive session, attorney-client, with commissioners, county counselor, finance, and road and bridge superintendent, for 20 minutes.
I'll move the Board of County Commissioners recess into executive session at 11:54 a.m. for consultation with an attorney for the public body, which would be deemed privileged in the attorney-client relationship as allowed by K.S.A. 75-4319B2. And that the purpose of the closed session is to protect the confidentiality of the discussion, and the board come out of executive session in 20 minutes in the commission room courthouse basement. And those present will be 3 commissioners, county counselor, road and bridge superintendent, and finance director.
Second,
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, passes 3-0. Okay, we are back in open session. We have Joe Snyder Road Bridge Superintendent with the notice of award of bid for Bridge 23.9-M.6.
Is my recommendation to give the bid to Shane Hankey. His bid was $53,500 to remove the structure. Our other bid was from Steve Marlett Construction at $66,750.
Okay.
So
I will make a motion to award the bridge to Shane Hankey as presented from the Road and Bridge Superintendent. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Passes 3-0. Thank you.
Is there a time frame on that?
it has to be done by August 1st.
Okay, I thought there was a date.
Department update.
We should be getting our new blade shortly. We're working as hard as we can on the roads. I drove some last night. They are still not pretty, but they're running the blades and putting rock down as soon as they can afterwards. So, we've been all over the county. Like I said, we have 4 routes, 3 blades, and then 2 blades kind of help do the other route until we get our new blade. So if anybody has any questions about that or anything they'd like to add or.
Are all of our blades, are they front wheel assist?
Yes,
They are now.
yes.
Okay.
Yes,
I had a question about that. It's,
yeah, no, they all are. Without that, we couldn't have pushed the snow we had.
well, that was.
Well, it would have been very hard.
Yeah,
It was hard enough the way it was. But we are trying to keep Rollins Road from Potter to 230th and 206th Road to County Line Road in the best shape as we can while the road is closed for Ottawa west of Potter so that the people can get around. So it's going to be a priority thing for us to keep it rocked. We've had some calls and concerns, and we're taking care of those as they come. We go.
Start that project down there.
Yes, it has started. They've got some grubbing, so they've cleaned some brush, and they've got a big hole in the road where they took the box out, is what I saw yesterday. And then this bridge, when we get it, pick who we're gonna award that to, it will start fairly soon. And I've contacted a couple farmers and I've got to get hold of a couple more. We've talked to Donovan County because the bridge will be closed while they're doing this. So, and that will be hopefully sooner than later. So I was hoping to have a lot of this done before planning, but no guarantees.
On the box on Ottawa, when that's replaced, I couldn't remember on the road plan what the plan is for the road. Will that be chip and seal?
So what they will do,
What's that?
yes, that road will be chip and
Okay.
sealed, but they'll come in. If it's too cold to lay asphalt when they get done, they'll put rock in there and then they'll come back when it warms up
Okay,
and they will asphalt that portion of the road. And then that is on our agenda for chip and seal this year.
that's what I thought, but I was asked that last night and I was like, I gotta ask Joe because I didn't have it in front of me
Yeah.
and I didn't want to misspeak and so,
hard to keep track of
Yeah.
when those.
And-
yep,
And
so,
then Cheyenne Road. We have to decide what we're gonna do there before long.
Which part?
It's, well, the part south of 116 where it's part asphalt, part gravel.
Okay.
We're gonna have to come up with a plan on that if we want to fix it this year. My opinion is, when we decide to do that, we need to fix the whole road. That's my opinion. Something we can discuss in a workshop or however you guys would like to. Because I'd like getting our whole roads done, but we may not be able to afford that.
Oh, I
So,
would prefer that if
I mean,
we
I
have to do it in split years,
We
we
may
may
have
take that
to.
to get it to a point to maintain it long
Right.
enough to get it back into.
right now, it's very hard to maintain with the gravel part when the asphalt was mixed into it. It's so hard, you can't hardly do anything with, but it still has potholes. They were out there on it yesterday. The potholes were horrible. And he was out there over half of the day on that 3 or 4 spots.
Will a scar fire even touch that?
Not the ones we have. I mean, if we put a lift group on the back of one of the blades with the big ones, we could tear it up. but
You're talking about that other piece of equipment, I forget the name of it, that you watched and demonstrated in Buchanan County.
well, I watched them use, I didn't watch them. I went and saw the end product where they mixed base one
Right.
with rock and they did it with millings. They milled up the old asphalt and they used it and then they chip seal over the top of it.
Does that work better out there long term?
It could. I mean, it honestly could. There's a couple different ways of doing it. You can either do it that way or have them come in and mill the road and add either cement or fly ash with it and prepare it and chip seal the top of it. There's two beliefs on this, so that would be something that we could possibly have some. It was about $100,000 a mile to have them come in and mill, stir everything up and base and all that, and then you have your chip seal on top of it. The other is cheaper. It's less expensive. It just depends upon whether we have the equipment to make all of it work. Because if and when we try that, I want to make sure we have everything to be successful as to
Right.
halfway do it and then end up with a mess that no one likes.
And did we talk about, that goes into Jefferson County, right? Or not? Where's that connect?
It goes to the county line and then you have to go over a mile to Clay.
And then down, is it 2 miles?
Yeah.
That's unpaved.
Yes,
So
and
that
then
that was the other question. So are they gonna do something at their end because
yes, I think you did
it's gonna
ask
be
me
all
that.
nice and then it's gonna have a kind of a hitch?
Because it definitely, I mean, not that I don't want to pave it, but I think it would be of much more value to us if it connected.
Right. So I did remember which road it is now. I had to think about it.
But at some point, we've got to, I feel like we've got to make a decision on what we want to do with it and somehow move forward.
The fact that that's already had that asphalt put back in, that you said it makes it so hard. Once it was prepped, would that be a good thing for us if he was gonna pave over the top or chip and seal that? Because it has that product in it?
One of the contractors I talked to thought that we would be best, just one of them, to put 3 inches of, maybe 3, and then chip and seal it. He didn't recommend messing with the base if it was that hard. And that was a
See, that's what I
local,
was
that was a
wondering.
local fairly good sized.
Sounds like a good base there. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
that's what
it's-
I was
but
wondering.
just
Is there any way we could make this work in our favor?
I mean, that's all options and that's why we need to sit down and I can get some quotes on that. But I think let's see. Was it about 100,000 for the mile and a half? I think maybe for them to come in, roll it and do all that.
What about, there's one bridge, and I remember right, that you say when you first turn to the south, there's a bridge not too far.
No, those
There's a
are,
bridge somewhere.
those are all culverts.
Okay, makes it right.
Those, well, there's a box down there by Glenn Richards that if we ever get to that point, it'd be nice to widen that out.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
so
You know where
it
I-
was narrow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because of
there
the
is
equipment and everything going through there. And then the other thing right quick, and then I'll get out of here, is Alan had suggested the other day about making a list with what we're doing with Gabe. And I sent you guys an email. If there's something that you want, or just put them down. I have, like the cell towers and stuff like that. Well, how do we handle that? And there's some other things that I want to include, but if there's something that you just think, email that to me and then I'll get that list and then we'll go over it and then I'll keep in touch with Gabe on that. The March 4th township agenda. Need to know what you would like in the agenda. So the last one, we had best practice for townships, our road policy. Roger, I think, did the floodplain management. Driveway applications, right-of-way applications, dust control, bridge discussion, culvert pickup, open discussion and adjourn. Was on the last one. But I know I talked to Michelle and we wanted to move that up this year, so maybe it would help with, it was in April last year, with maybe getting all their their stuff done on time.
Where would you have that? Will be Effingham or?
That's where we've had it.
At the last
At the blue building and we've got it. We've got it, hopefully.
What time?
6 usually.
You guys, right, six
time?
6 o'clock.
6.
Yeah,
Well,
last year, you were last year.
Yep.
I know this isn't so much with you, but I mean. What about their obligations with bookkeeping and audits and
So-
that stuff?
I'm really glad Michelle's here for that because I was asked that question too, like how or who has oversight of these townships of what they do? And I'm like, well, we don't have any authority, right? You work with them on entering their budgets, correct?
I'm actually only supposed to receive their budgets and then forward that to the state after putting it in.
Okay, so as far as checklists of like filing their withholding tax, all the things they're supposed to be doing, there's no guidance outside of that. LA, what was that resource that helps townships?
Oh, the LTAP.
The LTAP, yeah. That would be their resource, right? To help them keep in line with what they're supposed to be doing.
I think there would have to be something because I have my stuff and I learned the hard way. You sit down and you start the first of the year and you start going back and I mean, and then once you get it set up, it's not that hard, but there's gotta be,
Even if we would point out the resources and just like make sure here. This is what you need to do. You contact these people and then at least we've done our duty to remind them of how, not necessarily give the presentation, but give
Maybe they'll
them
come
the.
give the presentation. Remember at that highway in Oskaloosa, they came and talked and said, if your townships ever want us, they were out of Lawrence, I think.
let me talk to Nelda Buckley.
Yeah, because that would be an awesome speaker. Have them come and speak on how to be a resource for townships. That would be great. Yeah, because they were asking, how is the relationship between the county and us? And I'm like, other than the budget piece that you help do, that's all I knew as far as and I mean,
Township book's the only thing that I referred them to, and that was back in 19 when Norm Bowers did it.
okay, that would be a really good person. That would be,
I can reach out to Nelda.
and then road standards that we were gonna present to them.
Yes.
We're gonna send it to them ahead of time for them to review with questions.
And then, cause I think he was gonna take everything from the meeting and get that set in action, and then we were gonna work on other stuff, correct?
Yep.
And then, when we get to that, we'll get into another meeting with him. But, that's about what we got. Like I said, I'll do some pricing on trying to get that up to where we could just chip and seal that part and see what that would cost on Cheyenne. And I am going to add west of Effingham from Bourbon, it was to Decatur, but I want to make that all done at the same time. I'm going to go all the way into Effingham. There'll be some patching, to get it on the same cycle, the whole road, because it's not, one
It
was
got
done
split.
4 years ago and one was done 2 years ago. And I would like to make it, whenever we do these things, I want to finish one section and not.
Yeah.
If you guys are good, I think you all are on board with that. And then she did contact me yesterday. I was an email from what is PCC, the people doing our asphalting in March, the first week in March. We're supposed to go out and mark the rest of the spots and do the best we can and get those ready for them to do their
For
patching
the fall work.
for the fall work
Nothing
that got stopped soon.
And did you have your pre-bid on Ottawa with anyone? That's coming, right?
So Gabe is working on that.
Okay, I thought
So
so.
that was after the meeting, we sat down and went over what we need to do next. And he's working on that,
Okay,
on what we have to do there.
perfect.
All right,
Sounds good.
all right. Thank
Thank
you
you.
all.
Thanks.
Okay, I have the proposed 2023 rollover to reserve fund. Mark Zeltner, Finance Director, he emailed us a copy of this. The total is $88,425.14.
So that's just the amount of the appointed offices.
Yep.
But then this is the electeds that would roll over as well.
Okay, So you want two motions or just one?
Just one.
One's fine.
One for
Just the.
both.
Yep, okay. All right, you guys have any questions before I call for a motion? Anything you
Nope.
want to add?
Uh-uh.
Okay, thanks for the information. I would look for a motion to allow the chair to sign the proposed 2023 rollover to reserve funds prepared by finance director for the 2023 remaining budget rollover as presented.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, unfinished business. Phil, county clerk is back.
I just brought up 3 copies. I thought you guys could look over them and then,
Thank you.
I need at least one of them signed.
Okay.
And then I'll make copies of the ones that sign.
You can, okay. All right, so as presented from the Atchison County Clerk, the USD 409 special all-mail bond election official results. Yes, 1,211 votes, no, 706 votes. So I would look for a motion to file these official results as presented from the county clerk.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All of those in favor say aye.
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 Passes 3-0.
We sign on one.
Sure.
Signature pretty.
I know. Right, sure. Yeah. Signatures, I know that.
Just make sure it looks like the last one.
Right.
That's all I need. I will go ahead and take this so I can get this sent off to Dr. Scott and get it all taken care of.
Okay,
Thank
On to the next one.
all right. County counselor updates.
Tax sale is 3 weeks from today. So February 27th at Memorial Hall. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we have 30 parcels are left in so far, and I'm sure there will be at least one or more for those that are redeemed prior to then. We've had about a dozen people register to bid at the election or at the auction, so we are certainly on track.
I mean, you used to have registered.
I think we had about 50 last time.
Wow.
I can look.
That's just curious.
Well, we have this CIC thing that keeps track of how many people have signed up. There were 52 that signed, 49 that signed up last time, and 52 the time before, so around 50.
Okay.
Thanks. All right, so executive sessions, we have a non-elected personnel executive session, 20 minutes with commissioners, maintenance director, HR and finance.
Did let both of those other parties know
Okay, thank you.
they're supposed to be on the way.
Shall I wait till they get here? Might be 10 minutes before.
You never know.
I'll wait.
Talk slow.
Okay. If you want to wait, we can approve the expenses. Because
Okay, let's
we've
do it.
looked at
Yeah,
those,
sure,
yeah. So I would look for a motion to approve this week's expenses as presented to us.
So,
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
I,
This is 3-0. Perfect. Anything we want to add? Oh, yes. Next week's agenda, do we have an 11 a.m.? Sorry, I'm looking at it. You're fine.
We have 11:15.
Okay, 11:15, Tim Connard with TS Connard is gonna come. He is going to do an hour, please.
Well, we need an executive session right after that presentation. I don't know what we did, I was asking.
Well, I think we'll need one, but maybe not right after that. I mean, he's coming to present the co-managed model
Okay,
that he had asked.
that's good enough. Yeah,
For-
that'll work. Yeah.
I didn't have to real quick. Anybody else need?
Sure.
He needs a Pepsi.
Mhm.
No, I just. Understood, yeah.
Well, I didn't know we were doing it on HR.
She might be tied up, so.
Okay. And we said non-elected,
I would
Yeah.
include her and if she makes it.
okay. I'll move the Board of County Commissioners recess into executive session at 12:37 PM to discuss personal matters of non-elected personnel as allowed by K.S.A. 75-4319B1. And that the purpose of the closed session is to protect the privacy rights of the employee. And the board can have an executive session in 20 minutes in the commission room of the courthouse basement. And those present will be 3 commissioners, HR director, finance director, and maintenance.
So, second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes 3-0. Okay,
Good thing we got somebody in maintenance here.
okay. We are back in open session. We are going to need another executive session. Yeah, non-elected. 20 minutes should be fine. County counselor, HR, finance and commission.
Okay.
I'll move the Board of County Commissioners recess into executive session at 12:58 PM to discuss personal matters of non-elected personnel as allowed by K.S.A. 75-4319B1. And that the purpose of the closed session is to protect the privacy rights of the employee. And the board come out of executive session in 20 minutes in the commission room of the courthouse basement. And those present will be 3 commissioners, county counselor, HR, finance director. Yeah, and finance director.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, passes 3-0.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay, we are back in open session and we're gonna extend.
I will make a motion to extend the previous executive session for 20 more minutes.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Passes 3-0. Okay, we are back in open session. Public comment? Seeing none, I would look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Passes 3-0. We are adjourned.